हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Let me share my screen.
And then poof, he just took away the disease. You're such a recipient of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And of course, Sanatana Goswami said, no, 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 you're the greatest recipient of Lord Chaitanya's mercy because you're super excellent both in prachar and achar. You're the acharya for the holy name, and Lord Chaitanya came to give the holy name, and you're the acharya for the holy name. And not just chanting, you're also preaching the glories of the holy name, so you're the greatest recipient of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. But it's a very celebrated event. This oozing sores pastime. During that 10-month period, another very famous pastime is the Sanatana Goswami was staying some distance away from with Haridas, and Lord Chaitanya was staying at Gambhira. So Lord Chaitanya sent a messenger, please ask Sanatana to come see me. So Sanatana was really happy to get that message. And he walked in such a way that he was by the beach and his feet blistered because it's really hot during the hot summer. And Lord Chaitanya saw his feet and said, what happened? Tell me how you came. And he said he went by the beach. He said, why didn't you go by the temple? It was very direct. And he said, if I were to go by the temple with my body with oozing sores, the brahmanas might come by and brush my body and become contaminated. So I didn't want that. So I went by the beach. But your feet are all blistered. So that's, having your association, I wasn't feeling anything. I was just anticipating being in your association. This is for the service of Lord Chaitanya. He was willing to undergo any personal hardship and difficulty, but for his own personal interest, any staying away from any offense was his way of life. After he returned to Vrindavan, then this significant event took place. This is a photograph of a tree near the base of the Dwadasya Adityatila, or where the Madan Mohan temple is, and it's called Advaitavat. It's the tree underneath which Advaitacharya stayed, because before Lord Chaitanya appeared, Advaitacharya also spent time in Vrindavan. He spent time by the side of Radhakund. There's a little temple where he stayed. But this is in Vrindavan town, and while he was there, he somehow or another, doesn't say how, he found a deity, the deity of Madan Mohan, which he personally worshipped. And before he left Vrindavan, going back to Shantipur, his home, he gave the deity in the care of a Mathura Brahmin named Purushottam Chobe. Purushottam Chobe worshipped the deity. The description is, he worshipped the deity not according to regulation. He was a spontaneous bhakta. And he worshipped the deity like the deity was his own son. And one time when Sanatana Goswami was doing Madhukari in Mathura, he came to this house and he saw what Purushottam Chobe was doing with deity worship, and he scolded him. This is not how you worship a deity. And he instructed him how to worship the deity, because he knew. And that night, the deity appeared in the dream of Purushottam Chobe and said, I want to be worshipped by that man. Take me to him tomorrow. So Purushottam Chobe was attached to Madan Mohan, but he was going to comply. So he went to where Sanatana Goswami was staying up on this hill and said, the deity wants to be worshipped by you, so please accept. And Sanatana Goswami declined, saying, I'm a mendicant, I don't have anything, how can I worship the deity? You have a home, I don't have a home, I sleep under a tree. You know, I can't accept. Plus, what do I have to make offerings with? So he declined. That evening, Madan Mohan appeared in his dream again, saying, take me back. He said, I already took him there. He said, no. He said, take him there, go again. He'll say yes. Because that night, Madan Mohan appeared to him in Sanatana Goswami's dream. I want to be worshipped by you. So when he came, it's said there was either in the dream or something, some discussion. Sanatana Goswami said, how can I worship you? I don't have anything. He said, just whatever you have, whatever you eat. But I don't have any. He said, whatever it is, that's okay. I just want to be worshipped by you. He said, all right. But, if there's difficulty, then I'll take you back to Purushottam Chobe's home, because he has a home and he's attached to you. So it was like a transcendental deal. And then this painting again. This is a clearer version of that painting. So when he was giving this bhati and whatever else he may have, one day the deity said to him, at least can we have a little salt? And Sanatana Goswami said, I told you, I don't have anything. I'll take you back to Purushottam Chobe's home. No, it's okay. Then the pastime took place where
If you were born between 1980 and 2000, तो Axis Max Life लाया है एक solid term plan for small
later he left this world, and his body was taken in procession to his samadhi. This is his samadhi by the side of the Madan Mohan temple. That Sheila was taken to the Radha Damodar temple. We'll see that one evening when we visit with Jiva Goswami. This structure has been enhanced. They put a little area out in front, so when it's the heat of the day, you're in the shade. And then same domes that you see behind. And then they painted it up nicely. In the course of time, it looks like this now. So that's the samadhi of Sanatana Goswami. In the courtyard to our left, there are many other samadhis of other sadhus. And here's what's inside his samadhi. And that's our discussion on Sanatana Goswami. It's a nice meditation for me. I'm sure also for those who want to know more about the six Goswamis. It's a nice meditation on their personality, their gifts, their humility, their interactions with other Vaishnavas, their intimacy and their relationship with Krishna. very elevated personalities. And under the order of Lord Chaitanya to write books which we're benefiting from today. So let's see if there's some discussion. Yes. Well, she could have, but my understanding is she's reciprocating with a desire of her devotee Rupa. Rupa just had a desire. I'd like to, something. And Radharani is helping Rupa do that something. He wanted to give a gift to his brother. And so she brought a gift to give to his brother. He's reciprocating with Rupa Goswami in a loving way. Is that clear? The issue is not making sure that Sanatana Goswami gets the sweet rice. The issue is reciprocating with Rupa to serve his brother. If you want to serve another Vaishnava, supposing you don't have the means to do it, here comes the means to do it. Oh, Radharani's mercy. Okay.
Devotees having to say some lies like that. I don't know if you went into that depth.
Say it again. What's your question?
Sanatana Goswami, when being an elevated devotee, he still did that.
Yeah. That's going to come with Raghunath Das. Because Raghunath Das also had, tricked the priest. So we'll discuss it then. It's just the whole section, Raghunath Das. Because you brought it up, and just the essence is, it's not something that we're to do. However, elevated Vaishnavas, when there's some, super exceptional and exalted service to do for the Supreme Lord, they may.
White.
Guru Prabhu, we can pause here. Next lecture, we can start tomorrow.
Yes, Prabhu. I have identified a couple of next lectures. I'm just sharing in our group for the Rupa and Jiva Goswami and Raghunath Goswami.
Yeah, we did this Rupa Goswami. We can start with Rupa Goswami. You can host the discussion, whatever devotees would like to add, question. And there's one question from yesterday.
Sure, Prabhu.
Lecture audio was less only for me or for everyone?
No, I think that whole the audio itself is lesser, Mataji.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. Sorry.
Prabhu, YouTube audio is very good, Prabhu. I heard yesterday night, day before also.
Full lecture did you hear, Mataji?
No, the same lecture, whatever you have played now, and even yesterday also it was low, half of that one, right? So it was very nice in YouTube.
Was it? It's the same thing, Mataji. I think it was there for half of the things. It was good, but later on, I tried system volume full, but that was the max volume was coming. Okay. Anybody's having any comment or any question, anything to share? Kumarika Mataji, do you have anything to share?
Nothing, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Chandan Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam.
Prabhu, yesterday I was also listening this since I could not join morning. So I listened the like lecture of Maharajji. So Maharajji was mentioning, and today also one Mataji was asking, and so elevated devotee can tell a lie in some like special conditions. Not only that, when I was listening, so Sanatana Goswami gives bribes to others also from the escape from that person who was taking him somewhere else. So that I'm convinced from the answer, because Sanatana Goswami, he was chosen from the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is an elevated devotee. He can do whatever he will do. That's correct only. But I'm not convinced if someone is asking me how to answer these questions. Little bit, I want to like how to answer this. I'm convinced, but I cannot convince others like that. Means indirectly, I'm not also convinced how to answer exactly these questions.
Okay. Anybody would attempt to answer to Chandan Prabhu's question? Yes, Shweta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I don't know the answer, but whatever is my assumption, I can tell about it. Right or wrong, I don't know. Shampan Prabhu can say. But what I have heard sometimes, like about this time, this point itself is truth or false, or right or wrong. It's all defined by us. I mean, no one can say this is the absolute truth or this is the absolute lie or this is the absolute right. So everything is the goal of everything, objective of everything is to take us towards the supreme, take us towards the Krishna. So whatever we define, our mind is not really able to understand what is true or what is false. And only those great devotees can understand when we say truth, what is the real truth, and they do what is going going to take them near Krishna. It doesn't matter in the world's eye whether it is a truth or not. So the objective of all of our action, of our statements, is to take us towards Krishna. If in the world's eye it is truth, it's very good. In the world's eye, if it is not truth, it is taking us towards Krishna. It is truth in Krishna's eye. That's what I understand. I don't know whatever it it is.
Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry, I would add one point. Worldly people also go and give some bribes. For him also, they can give points. For me, my family, my life is very important. So I gave bribes and my work is done.
Mm,
And like that, so
Prabhu,
people can also give.
only one objective, no other objective. Just one objective, Krishna. Nothing else. That's what I understand.
Okay, okay. So you can say means you are saying for Krishna we can tell sometimes live for higher purpose, right?
If it is taking me towards Krishna.
Okay, yeah.
That is my assumption. I don't know if it's an answer of your question.
Or somewhat I was also understanding like this only because for higher purpose we can tell lie since he is a very exalted devotee and he didn't tell for himself. He was going towards the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he told like that and escaped from the clutches of that uh, Nawab. Like that, I understood. But yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hello.
Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
I have read somewhere, saving his own life. And sometimes in the case of marriage and etc., I read it, but in the case of marriage, etc., we can tell lies. And for higher purpose, we can tell lies. This is what I have read somewhere, in the Patpat. Vaguely I remember.
Okay. Yes, Vanadana Mataji or Shamkunda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's
Hare
Shamkumar.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Is my voice clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Chandan Prabhu, you can possibly also hear, I think, the recently concluded uh, Sri Lanka Yatra. There is a lecture on Hanuman destroys Ashokavana, where Maharaj covered this, Prabhu. I'll probably tell you once more, but I think he did a much better job, and you can hear from him. The circumstance there was something very similar in that Hanuman had met Sita, and after that, uh, Hanuman began to destroy the Ashokavana. And the Rakshasis who were surrounding Sita, they said, "We saw you seeing Hanuman. We saw you speaking to Hanuman. Who is he?" And Hanuman and Mother Sita said, "I don't know who is he. There are so many people like you here who all have different faces. Somebody has a face of a monkey, somebody has some other face. You all change your appearances also. How do I know?" And it appears like Mother Sita lied. And in answering it, Maharaj had given the response, and I'm just elaborating on that very same response in the yatra. You can hear from the video too. And it's a little long-winded answer too, so please bear with me. I'm going to go with the various nuances for this. In one sense, the Manu Dharma Samhita and the Mahabharata, especially the Shalya Parva, gives clear-cut indications that one may lie to save one's life, number one, to protect property, number two, in getting two people married, number three, and for the sake of a devotee or a brahmana, number four. And to elaborate this, there is also an example that is given where a brahmana who who was doing his tapasya or something like that meditation in the forest, which was on the outskirts of a village. He was doing a tapasya, and a cow came about running and then went past him and went further inside the forest. And a hunter came, I mean, or a butcher, not a hunter, a butcher came and asked this Brahmana and said, "Tell me, where is the cow? Did you see a cow going this way?" And the Brahmana saw the butcher having the butcher's knife. It was apparent for him that he wants to kill the cow. And so the Brahmana thought, "I am sworn to the truth. I should always speak the truth. And therefore, I have to tell him whether it is good or bad. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, will take care of the cows." So he pointed out the direction in which the cows ran. The butcher went in the direction. And in a few minutes later, he could hear the shrieking sound of the cows. The cows were killed. Next birth, the Brahmana was again born as a Brahmana. He did a nice tapasya, but he couldn't go back to Godhead. And the result of this act that he did, what happened was um, the hunter was also born in that same in that circumstance. And just to cut the long story short, I can send it to you separately because other points need to be discussed. The Brahmana had to face finally the agony that his hand was cut off. The hand by which he showed this is the direction in which the cow went. Many things happened, and his hand was cut off. I'll give you the detailed story later. In other words, there was a consequence of even speaking the truth. Truth, which is insensitive, also has a consequence, especially when one is not saving the life of another person. It's a problem. So, if one can do that. So that's from a perspective of Manu Dharma Smriti. That is at one level. But there is also another level, which is at the level of Tattva. It is that we know from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 67, Krishna says that this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who's envious of me. So one, like in the case of Mother Sita, if she were to be asked, where is Hanuman? And then if she had told it, what can she tell about Hanuman? That he is the embodiment of Guru Tattva, that he has Lord Rama in his heart, that he became so attracted to the qualities of Mother Sita that he became her devotee. If she had to tell the truth, she had to tell all of this. And the Rakshasas had told her, tell us all that you know about him. And she knew all about this, about Hanuman. But will they understand? Because these Rakshasas were not austere, they were not devoted, they were not engaged in devotional service, and they were having these envious qualities. How can somebody else have something? Why cannot I have it? Why should others get it? All these things. So, in other words, there is no point in explaining to such people. But then there is a much deeper thing, which is the rasa part. And the rasa part is uh, coming to what Mother Sita was experiencing. It is said that, like we often hear in the Bhagavad Gita and in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that the Supreme Lord is outside of this world. He's not in this world, and yet he's in this world. So, how do we take into account such statements? It means that the Supreme Lord is outside. He is not directly there here in one sense, but he's there in the hearts of the devotees who are pining for him, who are eagerly looking out for him. And so it is in this world, in the hearts of only those who are connected to him, he is there. In the hearts of those who are not connected to him, he is hidden. And Jiva Goswami says in the Bhakti Sandarbha that one should not publicly tell everybody about one's sadhana and the goal of one's sadhana, that is the sadhya. It is not meant for publicity. Today it was this, tomorrow it was that. It can be told in a group of close friends. Uh, it can be told to one's guide, it can be told to one's guru, but not, publicize it as such. So Sita's heart was filled with so much love for Ramachandra that, and consequently because of Ramachandra, the message of Ramachandra which was brought by Hanuman, she was filled with so much love and gratitude that for 10 months she was just chanting the name of Ram, and here is somebody else who has come and who has described Rama. So she had so much love and gratitude for him, but the language of love of the heart is not to be disclosed to everybody. That is from her side. Most of us are not there here, and most of us have a different problem altogether. Our problem is that when we hesitate to speak the truth, or sometimes we are inclined to speak a lie. And the reason we do that is I we might depend not on Krishna but on our own ability. Many times it happens. So, like, we can quote the scripture and say, I'm trying to save somebody's life, I'm trying to save a Brahmana, etc. But deep down, we'll have to think, am I depending on the Supreme Lord or am I depending on my ability? Uh, and we don't tell lies, but most of us don't tell lie, but we hide the truth. We conveniently give a very good version of our own self. We hide an aspect of our own selves which we don't want others to know. Partially it is because of shame, agreed. Partially it is because of lack of confidence, agreed. It's a feeling that what will others think about me? Yes. But as a devotee, we have to be abjectly truthful, at least to somebody, if not to all, to somebody. Because devotional service is about gaining more opportunities to rely on the strength of the Guru, to rely on the strength of Lord Balarama, Lord Nityananda, and to rely on the strength of other devotees, knowing that Ekaki Amar Nahi Paya Bala, Harinama Sankirtane. Alone, I cannot do Harinama Sankirtana. Tumi Kripa Kori. You please give me your Kripa. And that Kripa comes both by verbally expressing our dependence and by our actions. So, what happens when we practice truthfulness is that it brings about very, very challenging circumstances to cry out for Krishna. And by crying out for Krishna and knowing that I do not have the ability, I don't know what others are going to think about me, our heart softens. We become more compassionate to those who have even an iota of good qualities. Even a little bit of good qualities, we become very soft. And we see how much Krishna has blessed them to have these good qualities. And then we begin to see the hand of Krishna in others, and we become more Krishna conscious. And we become more, uh, and we start begging to Krishna for everything. And then Krishna starts residing in our own heart. And he cleanses all the impurities. It's not we who cleanse our impurities. So it is important to tell the truth. And but in the case of Sanatana Goswami, for him, it is for the sake of the Supreme Lord. He knew the mission that he had in front of him. He is not a conditioned living entity who's trying to figure out what to do. He had to write books, he knew. He had to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is who's none other than Radha and Krishna in their mission. He knew it. Everything else was temporary. And therefore, he had to do what he did. Does this have any help for you? Or is this of any help for you?
Thank you, Prabhu, for this elaborated answer, Prabhu. I understood. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Yeah, and the short answer is what Shweta Mataji said. She told the essence. I just took a long answer short at it.
Yes, yes, yes. I could understand Mataji's answer, Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhu, but now I have got one more question. How come in the marriages we can tell lie? I mean, that is the most sacred start of the life. How can it be based upon the lies, or how is it
Not
possible to?
ideally, it should not be that way. But the contention here is many times it should not be done by ordinary people. It should be done by, if at all required, by an exceptional person. But most of the times, people get into marriage with very material considerations, complexion, etc. And everybody tries to, like the groom tries to portray he's a nice fellow, and the bride tries to prove she's a fabulous person. Somebody has to remove the curtain of untruths and see what is the reality. And that is one thing to be done. But the other thing that happens here is at least one of the party, either the bride side or the groom side, they see too much by condition side. Like for example, oh, this boy is having this so and so kind of complex. No, he's short, he's tall, etc. Oh, he has so much money, or he doesn't have money, something like that. And one at that point in time, one has to realize, an elderly person has to realize that over a period of time, their considerations will change. They will not be looking about money, complexions, etc. If their principles are right, if it's a temporarily they are under this modes of material nature. If they are going to practice bhakti carefully over a period of time, they will come out of these modes of material nature. At that point in time, that person will rue, or he will cry over the fact that, oh, I had such a nice girl with nice qualities, but I couldn't get her. So they start talking about some nice qualities of the girl. Don't bother about this aspect here, but something else is important. They may amplify it, a quality which may not be present now, but which will be manifested in that individual over a period of time, just by the potency of devotional service or the potency of even being religious for that matter. Something like, I mean, what happens when a girl or a boy is 20, 25-year old when they get married? Are they the perfect human beings? No. But marriage is not meant for just 1 or 2 years, it's meant for some 40, 50 years. So somebody with a vision will see that this person doesn't have this quality, but I foresee him having that quality. And in that sense, it looks like a lie, but they're making a case for a person to break that mold of conditioning knowledge. Only in such cases it is allowed, but otherwise it is not.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, not for us. It's someone really who has some good knowledge. Thank you,
Yes,
Prabhu.
thank you, Shankun Prabhu, for elaborate explanation for the Chandan Prabhu's question. Yeah, go on, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. I think it's a wonderful discussion. I think initially when Chandan Prabhu asked that question, and when Maharaj also was asked the question in the discussion, I simply accepted the answer that Maharaj will describe it further in Raghunath Das Goswami's pastimes. But this discussion is very elaborate and very interesting. I think couple of points that came to mind that I thought might be worth sharing. One is we see a lot of these elevated personalities, and anytime we discuss these kind of pastimes, the most important principle that I've learned to keep in mind while observing their behavior is that we are supposed to follow their instructions and not imitate their example. So the same conclusion, I think, which we came to, which is, a lot of these elevated personalities, they have a much better, much deeper understanding and a stronger connection with what's the mood and heart of the Lord Himself, and so they will probably know what to do in the right situation, but we may not be able to exactly apply that in the right way in our lives. And so that becomes the defining principle in my experience of let's use these opportunities. If we come across a situation where we feel like saying the truth might be difficult, and it may be convenient or may get a better outcome, at least from our conception, to lie or hide some of the truth, or share some half truth, the best thing that we can potentially do is seek out guidance, consultation from a senior Vaishnava that we are practicing with, potentially guide, or if it is important enough, critical enough, reach out to Guru Maharaj himself and get their inputs on what is the right thing to do. Because trying to take these decisions independently ourselves can lead to some very difficult situations in our life. Because the example that Shamkun Prabhu also gave of that Brahmana pointing out, trying to make that call, he was clearly not qualified to make that judgment, right? But if he had the opportunity to consult, and most of us have that opportunity to consult with some devotees who can potentially, more experienced devotees who can potentially give us some input, and that consultation becomes our protection in situations like this. So that's one theme that I wanted to bring out. The other thing, that on a lighter note, that Shweta Mataji was asking, to me feels like it's not a question of lying, Mataji. I think all of us, anybody who's married, will realize within the first, once the honeymoon phase is over, you realize what you've married into, right? Like both partners, both partners very clearly know the flaws and the gaps in the other person's qualities, and and sometimes we may also feel, in fact, like a lot of us have felt that if I knew all of this about you, we probably would not be in the same house, right? And so in that sense, almost every marriage begins with some half truths, because you want people to get together and agree for the journey. Otherwise they'll not even agree. If I'm sure if my wife knew all of my disqualifications, she would probably say, maybe let's find someone better. So that's the the way that I would probably look at how that statement is being interpreted. But thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
That's a different aspect, Prabhu, that we are never satisfied with what we have in our hand. I mean, that is never ending. But I mean, not knowing and deliberately telling lie. I mean, there are two different things. Or what Shamgan Prabhu explained, that someone who can actually see little bit of future. But yeah, what you are pointing out is it's never ending. Everyone will agree with you.
A lot of times, like Shastra defines anything that is a half truth also to be a lie. So in that sense, it's naturally going to be a part of any marriage or relationship like that. But yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Govind Prabhu. Okay, I think anybody is having any the last comment or question? Okay, we'll end for today. Thank you so much for joining. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. His Holiness Rumpa Samaraj ki jai.